All right. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we've got one of the craziest guys I've ever seen. Inside a ring, no ring, whatever. His name's Tyler Aero. Welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. This is my first podcast probably in the last damn year or two. So this is if I'm a little rusty on this, forgive me.
That's all good, man.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute for me as well, too. Whew. I think it may be a year for me as well, too. Just over a year.
Uh, I felt they were just being banged out over COVID, and then once everything went semi back to normal, this all just wiped off, and everyone doesn't do it no more. So whenever I get a chance to do it, I'm like, wow, how do I do this again? I forget.
Right. I was doing it for almost a year straight, like every day straight or every week straight, pardon me, with a friend of mine. And now it's just like, how do I do this again? How do I get my set up all and whatnot? But
That's it. That's it.
here we are. We got it all rolling. So you've got some dates coming up. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. Some, if even I can remember what they are, I know I know I got a hand. July's actually pretty slow, which I'm kind of grateful for because man, I've been burning the candle at both ends. Um, but I believe mid July there's Pro Wrestling Ontario. Uh, late July and late July. I believe it's the 26th or something. New Frontier had switched their date. Uh, but yeah, the most prominent one that I've been focusing on at the moment is August 3rd, being the Canadian Deathmatch against Tyler Hill. That was just announced.
Literally the other day. I'm
Yeah.
stoked for that show. Like so stoked for that show. It's been too long since they've got out. Let's just say that.
No, man, that the video package they put up even got me all hyped up for it. And it's what a month away.
Yeah,
So
literally, like almost a month. I think they put it out like literally a month away from that. So it's just like,
yeah,
all right, it's time to go.
yeah, yeah. That's gonna be gnarly. That's probably gonna be it's gonna be unsettling for a lot of people to watch. I think
Well, that's the point, right?
that's what we do. That's what we do.
So right off the hop, what was your inspiration to get into pro wrestling?
Oh, that's such a story to be put into summarization. Uh, Getting into wrestling, I got lucky, but if you going off the inspiration aspect, man, like I was a fan, like most of us as a kid. You know, I was too young to watch at the time because it was always on past my bedtime. You know,
Oh
all that.
yeah, oh yeah.
So my old man used to tape the VHS. He would tape the Raws and the Smackdowns on VHS late at night, and then we'd come home from school the next day and watch it. But you know, I don't know what it was. It was kind of that thing. Like all of us as a kid have this obsession with wrestling, and I don't know. I can't personally explain it. It's just the kid that's obsessed with wrestling, and the obsession never went away. Whereas everyone else that was around me grew out of it. You know, they thought it was stupid. They thought it was phony. They thought this. They thought I always liked it. It never went away with me. You know, but if I go towards developing actually the being a fan aspect, the inspiration, like it came from guys like the Hardys. Like that's a prominent start because a lot of even like if we go as far as to say the deathmatch stuff, that stuff came way
Oh, yeah.
later. But if we go way back into the early of it, it was it was Shawn Michaels, it was the Hardys, it was Eddie Guerrero, it was all the guys like that. Yeah, absolutely, it was one of those where it was just like these guys are better than even I'm able to comprehend because at that time I don't know nothing about the business. I don't know nothing about the ins and outs, the behind the scenes of what going into putting a match together. I have no clue. So as a kid, it's just like, how is they're superhuman? They're superheroes, and it really just came down to seeing that on TV and being like, I want to do that one day. And you fast forward 20 some odd years later, and here we are.
Just living the dream.
you know, that's it.
So,
That's it.
like the Hardys, then that would be like your favorite wrestlers and all that, or do you have one that you would pick out?
Wow, it's hard. Like I can't say I have one
I know what you mean.
specific favorite. I kind of categorize my stuff in a weird way. One of my all-time favorites is Terry Funk. Absolutely, he was the man that he was a down and dirty wrestler. You don't. I don't even know. I'm trying to put words together without swearing. I don't know
Oh,
if I
go
can
ahead.
cuss here or not. Okay, okay, because he was just one
We
of those.
cussed. We didn't cuss for this long enough. I think we're fine. So fuck it.
That's it. Okay. So, because he's just one of those wrestlers that you didn't fuck with. He was tough as nails. And then he did his section of wrestling. Now let's see if I can do this. And then he goes to Japan. He does the Texas death matches, the exploding barbed wire death matches. Like he's literally like I've heard on commentary. I'm the Swiss Army knife of professional wrestling. Fuck that. Terry Funk was the Swiss Army knife of professional wrestling. You
And just
know,
the constant reinvention, like as he got older, he just got crazier. That just seemed like he just, I don't care.
oh,
I'm here for
being
this.
being in his 60s, hitting the fucking moonsaults. It's like
Literally, two
that'll
blown out knees.
really though, really. But like if we go back to even just like wrestlers, Eddie Guerrero, to me, one of the greatest to ever do it.
Literally,
And despite the horrible events, I gotta mention Chris Benoit.
it's hard not to. We're Canadian, right?
100% in ring capability, by far one of the best to ever do it. It just unfortunately, you know, things turned out the way they turned out.
CTE is a fuck of a thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to go next on to like guys like Jeff Hardy or even Matt Hardy is just the daredevil-esque shit. These guys were great wrestlers. They were a great tag team, but they added that element that what a lot of people didn't realize they were missing, because it was stuff that never happened. And once the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, they innovated this whole different style of tag team wrestling. Be it if it was the tables, ladders, and chairs, be it if it was the cage matches. They just brought tag team wrestling to a new level in a way that people didn't realize. I don't even think they realized they wanted or knew was even possible.
That's insane. I'm at a loss for words. You just stumbled me up there. That's perfectly like those early like TLC matches was just like how
Oh,
how
and that's the thing. There's
basically.
been there's been plenty of great ones since, or even like the Money in the Bank matches. But when you mention ladder matches or tables matches, it always routes back to those core matches.
Yes.
And with all due respect to everyone, it's not what happened at Money in the Bank 2015. It's not what happened, at TLC 2013. It's always going back to Matt Hardy, Edge and Christian, Devon and Bubba, way back. WrestleMania. Was it
Literally.
17? I believe was the big one.
Yep.
I could be wrong. I'm not a dates guy, but like it always routes back to that. It's a staple of what so many people do today, whether they want to admit to it or not. It is.
Exactly. I
And
highly agree.
that's just inspiration. What's the I've done this. How can I bring it here now? How can I make this different? How can I make it unique in a world where so much shit has already been done, recycled, or copied or mimicked? How do I make it unique? Because that's what they did, 20, 30 years ago. So, but now we're in a stage, where everything's been done. How do I make it different? It's
And
hard.
I can't imagine. I can't even imagine like just trying to come up with new shit just to make it like you said, something unique basically.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so what was training with Rip Impact like? Do you have any training stories from that time?
For me, it was actually a very smooth transition because for me, before I did, once I got to fix this, before I had met Rip, I had previously trained elsewhere,
Okay.
and I would go as far as to say their names, but I'm not sure what kind of terms we're currently on. We haven't talked in a few years, so
Understandable.
I'll leave that part at that. But where as far as Rip goes, I showed up one day and it was like we'd known each other for years. Like he ran me through some drills and whatever to just see what he was working with. Because, there's plenty of people that come in and say they've done this before, they've done that before, they trained with so-and-so, they trained in this city. Yeah, all that shit. And then they get in, and unfortunately, the actions don't resemble the words. So he ran me through a bunch of drills and a bunch of other shit. And, I wasn't perfect. I wasn't finesse. I wasn't great, but you could work with me at the time. And I think by the end of the night, we were just working together, some type of mock match in training, where we just kind of beat the piss out of each other for 7 minutes just to see what we could do. I think we just called everything. We didn't put anything together. It was just, all right, let's go in and see what happens. And really, to this day, he's still one of my closest friends. Like, there's that line between being the coach and being the friend. And we have that good separation dynamic. Like, when we're there training, he'll blow me up like a motherfucker. I'll be aches and pains all the next day, bumps and bruises all over. But then, we'll go out to dinner one night, and it's just like, how's the family? It's just,
I've met him at I've met him at a show before, but I haven't like formally like sat and talked with him, sort of thing like that. But I've heard nothing but good things.
Oh yeah, like you wouldn't expect. Like, just for me, in my experiences, I hear a wrestling trainer. I'm not expecting someone that nice. I'm expecting someone a little rough around the edges and stuff, and he can be. But when I met him, I was like, this guy is, if too nice was a person, it was Rip Impact. And I don't know, he might hate me for saying that. He might love me for saying that. He's a nice guy, but I don't know.
We'll find out.
Absolutely. Like, that's really it. The biggest, and he'll tell you this, his biggest pop from me was, and I've never actually told this story publicly, we were doing a seminar at his school once. And it was a Joe Henry seminar. He was in town. And, we got to sit around and learn, from his eyes and from his perspective and all that. And time came, wanted to see who could work on the fly. He's like, I need a heel and a face. So he points at me, who's usually a face. He's like, are you a face or a heel? I'm like, I'm normally a face. He's like, you're going to work a heel.
Okay.
He's like, who are you? He's like, are you face or heel? The guy's like, I'm a heel. He's like, you're going to work as a face. We thought we were going to work each other, but no, he worked us individually in these calling matches in the seminar. And I wasn't ready for this, experience-wise or mentally at the time. This was years ago. And time came, and I was just too in my head. The time came. At the time his finish was a fall-away slam. So we work this match, calling it as we go, and then he hits me with the fall-away slam, and he pins me, and he goes, 1, 2, I kicked out. I'm like, fuck. I just kicked out of this guy's finish because I'm too in my fucking head.
Oh,
no. and so...
Thank fuck it wasn't on a show.
Oh, yeah. So he picks me up and he hits me with it again. And I'm like, okay, stay the fuck down this time, you fucking idiot. And I did. And to this day, like, because we laughed about it and everything, he's like, oh, yeah, you got to put yourself over. I get it. But to this day, that's one of Rip's favorite stories of me of all time. Like, that's probably I don't even think he would have another story that would top that with me, aside from just not loving how much I bleed, be it intentional or on accident, Do
you have any advice for anybody, like, trying to get into it or just starting training or anything like that?
By my experience, like, always be a sponge, intake every bit of information you can get, but don't necessarily follow every bit of information you get.
Okay.
Because when I started, I took a lot of the wrong advice. And, like, it wasn't that it was good or bad necessarily, it just wasn't advice that was for me. And there was a handful of situations that I had found myself in that, unfortunately, following that advice took me back a step or two. And and everybody's different. Like, it could be something like, it could be about brother prices and all that kind of shit. It could have been about dating somebody in the business. It could have been, it could have been how you carry yourself on social media. Like, there's no right or wrong thing. It's just a matter of what works for you. But everybody has their way of what a wrestler needs to be, should be, what they think it has to be. And that's not always
No.
right. It's not wrong either, but we're all different. My experience is going to be different from, say, Mike's experience. You know, his experience is going to be different from what Rip's experiences were. Like, it's all different. No one goes through this in the same loop. And unfortunately, it's tough. You eventually just have to kind of pick and choose and learn what works for you. And at the end of the day, we're all working together, sure, but you want to look out for you, because if you don't look out for yourself, you're going to get walked all over. And you get walked all over, that's when the opportunities can come and go, and they might not come for you. You're reliable, but people want to keep you there because you're reliable. And if you're not willing to take a chance on yourself, why is somebody else going to take a chance on you? That's kind of like, it's a vicious cycle, unfortunately. And until you break out of that, and funny enough, it took me getting hurt to realize that when I blew out my knee. Like, I did, 6 months of physio for my knee, and I strengthened it up, and the time came to start coming back and getting to the ring, and I was like, I don't want the schedule that I had at first, because my schedule before that was like 10 shows a month, 9 shows a month, however many, every weekend, all weekend. I was like, I don't want to jump back into it because I'm just going to end up hurt again. So I took a step back. I reassessed everything, reevaluated the decisions I was making. And before you knew it, I started focusing more on what I felt was important, and more opportunities came my way because I realized what was important to me. And in this case, for now, that has become deathmatch wrestling. But because I found my focus in something that really ignited that spark in me again, because there was a long period of time where I was just burnt out, man. And we all get it in life, not just even wrestling, in life. And when I finally found that focus and that passion for something, which I already knew I loved deathmatch wrestling, but everyone held me back in that sense because it was garbage wrestling, outlaw, mud show bullshit, whatever. You know, some of the relationships in the business that unfortunately don't exist for me anymore. A lot of things had happened, and I found a way to find that little fucking rabbit hole that can take me back into that position. And now that I found that, I've been getting the opportunities. I just had my first time out of Ontario, my first booking in Quebec for ISW and New Outlaws. We had that deathmatch
I saw that
tournament, Kings of
match. You
Crazy.
that bump on the fucking cut can board that grossed me out.
I don't know what was worse though, the bump or the mosquito bites being outside in the summer. You know?
Fair enough.
But those opportunities wouldn't have come if I didn't start looking out for what was important to me. If I was looking at what was important for everybody else, that opportunity wouldn't have come. And unfortunately, when you switch your mindset, like, some people agree with this, some people don't, but I'm putting it out there. I lost more friends when I started looking at this as a business than I did just hanging out with my friends on a Saturday. I'm not saying don't make friends. Like, you spend so much time on the road with these guys, you're going to make some friends. You're also going to make some enemies. But at the end of the day, this is still a business. And I believe it was Kevin Nash who said the words, everybody wants to call it the business until they have to do business. And I learned that firsthand. The amount of fucking people that walked away when I started looking at even just a couple of things from a business standpoint. People started walking left, right, and center. And it doesn't hurt my feelings. Sure, it kind of sucked and it stung for a minute, but it's like, if me doing something better for myself is a problem for you, fuck you. Literally. I don't need you. And again, like I said before, that's not just wrestling, that's life. Like, you have someone who's trying to hold you back or keep you at a standstill because they're afraid of either your potential or they're afraid of the potential they wasted. I have to be the one to suffer for that? Fuck that. And I'm not bitter. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people will say that nowadays I'm becoming bitter. It's like, not at all. It's just people mistake bitter for logic. There's a lot of things that I just took on the chin or let go over my head or just, whatever. Now that I don't do that, now that means I'm bitter. I'm not bitter, man. I'm what I like to believe is one of the easiest people to get along with. But I can't speak for everybody else. And I damn sure ain't going to put my ego ahead and say that it's their fault. I'm not going to say that at all. It may seem like I'm coming off that way, but I'm not. We're all different. We all look at this shit differently. Some people want this just as a hangout with their friends. Some people want this as a career. Some people want this as a second job. It could be whatever. And it just comes down to what I want. So I know I very well got off a point there for the aspect of advice for people.
That was just life advice right there, period. Like, you could apply that to anything else, though. So you nailed it.
And that's it. Like, that's the thing. I try to relate everything to some aspect in life itself because, sure, I don't have a lot in common with someone who's not a wrestler, maybe, but we both share life. We both will go through some of the same experiences, some different. We'll handle some things differently. We'll handle them the same. But, you know, I don't even necessarily like the word advice because then it feels like I'm telling you something that you have to agree with or have to take or have to follow. By no means it's that. It's there it's there if people want it. But I'm not offended if people don't agree with it. So I'll summarize this last part. Just be open-minded. Have your ears open, but know what's important to you. That's my advice. That's my advice.
I love it, man. That was like everything you said there was like you said you could relate it to any facet of life, like literally, like be it pro wrestling, be it like your job, be it being a student or anything like that. Like perfect, like summarize it perfectly, in my humble opinion. So the high risk style you've come to know, like fuck, the first match I ever saw you, you were jumping off a fucking roof of a bar and dropped an elbow off of the roof of a bar through a table. Have you found it?
I had hair back then too.
You did. Have you found it has more rewards than risks?
That's a good one. I don't always look at the risk factor any greater than I would a regular match. Okay. Because at the end of the day, I could break my neck on a pile driver.
Yeah.
Right? I could break my back taking a buckle bomb run. Really, there's so many little things that end up becoming big things in that regard that I don't look at it. I look at it like going into it, I'm like, yeah, what I'm about to do is stupid.
Fair enough.
It's kind of counteracted. It's kind of counteracted by, look how much of this shit is stupid, though.
Here we are.
Someone takes a DDT and spikes it. Someone takes a pile driver and lands on their neck. You know, it's all stupid to someone who's not involved in some capacity. So I find being the self-aware of how stupid it is almost eliminates some of the risk, as weird as that seems.
Makes sense.
Because I'm going into it knowing it might end badly, but I trust my ability that I might get away with it unscathed. If I go into it scared, there's so many things that can go wrong. You know? And I can't say whether, like, I can't compare, like, risk and reward in that sense, aside from just, like, the good feeling of, like, you know, that backdrop on the pop can door. It was one of those things where it was like, I took that bump and I was like, I can still move my fingers. I can still move my toes. I think my back's cut open, but I'm pretty all right. So to me, it's just kind of that reward. The reaction from the crowd is the reward for me. Because at the end of the day, getting up the next day is going to suck regardless. You know,
still, the craziest thing I ever saw from you was that spear off the ceiling that you did with Matthew Grant. That was fucking insane. Where you're holding on to like the truss and he hit you with the spear. I was like, that was crazy. Like,
someone did an article on us for that. I can't remember who, but I could probably find it sometime after the podcast. Someone reached out to us because that clip just went all over the place. It's
still pinned to my fucking Twitter account. Like, that's the first tweet you see.
Yeah. Like, that was an intentional tribute spot. And obviously on a different scale, we're not in front of 15,000 people in that regard. We're not in a stadium where there's like a proper thing holding the belt from the ceiling. Like we had to make do with what we had there, and fortunately, on an indie level, I think it paid off.
Fuck yeah. I agree.
But some, yeah, like to this day, it's still one of my favorite clips to look back at. Like because I don't even think I have the match, but I have the clip somewhere. Like I have too much shit. Like I have like 2 hard drives full of stuff that I haven't seen in years, pictures, videos, promos, whatever. Like it's all just hidden on a hard drive somewhere because my computer decided to blow up on me. And it's on not enough space on a smartphone to keep everything. So
I hear that.
yeah, that's it.
Man, that still blows my mind. But what was the worst bump or spot you've ever taken after speaking about that?
This is where I go back to stupidity.
Okay. Oh God.
The stupidity wasn't necessarily the bump fully itself, even though the bump was pretty stupid. It was that it was during a COVID taping where we weren't allowed to have fans. Okay. It was for YouTube, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember it was PWO doing a taping, and I think I was wrestling Aiden Rain at the time, and I laid him out on the apron. Yeah. I laid him out on the apron and I went to the top for an elbow drop, not realizing that the ring we were in had a very small apron space, and he had to move out of the way. So he moved out of the way, and I took this right on my tailbone,
no.
the edge of the apron, and immediately it was just like if I don't have spine issues, I will one day from that. Like, but it was an immediate just. Oh fuck! And I had to like crawl away for a second. I mean, it's a COVID taping. We very well could have just cut the camera, but I'm like, no, fine. But then we finished up everything, and me and Mike had to do a promo afterwards. And I'm like trying to bend over to pick up my belt, and I couldn't bend over. And I was like, oh shit. Fortunately, the extent of it was either a bruised tailbone or a cracked tailbone. I can't remember. But I ended up having that for a while. Like the first New Frontier show where I worked Tarek, I had just recovered from that a week prior, I think, like or 2 weeks prior, you know. And me and Tarek are putting on this 20-minute match. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just hoping that everything holds up because like I slowed down, but I didn't stop, kind of thing. Which is funny because you'd think the tack bumps are the stupid ones, the gusset plates are the stupid bumps, the panes of glass. No, it was an elbow drop on, as Michael Cole calls it, the hardest part of the ring. You know.
The other thing's just superficial, right? It's just like cuts and whatnot. It just depends if you can clean them or not.
Yeah, my girlfriend loves spraying me with Bactine at the end of a match because she sees that hurts more than what actually happened. You know?
Yeah, I've heard that story a few times. It's just like, oh yeah, the shower after the match is worse than the actual match itself.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, PD Skills, like one of my best friends, he thinks I'm a bitch.
Skills.
I'll get home and I'll get in the shower and then I'll talk to it. We'll check in the next day and be like, how you feeling? I was like, man, that shower was rough. He's like, stop being a bitch. Because the shower don't bother him. But he's a fucking freak of nature, that guy, in a good way.
Shout out Skills.
Seen it. Yeah, I've seen him take shit that most people wouldn't want to. And I've also been on the receiving end of the shit that most people wouldn't want to be. You know, we're the best friends, bitter enemies kind of gimmick there.
What a guy. I haven't seen him in time, so I'm really stoked to see him in August. Oh
yeah, the best. He's got that gorgeous title that I might come for someday. I'm not going to get the character.
Well, someday, one day, who knows?
I don't got the face paint on. I can't be that clowny fuck, you know.
Well, speaking of that, where did that's like a recent thing. Like, where did that inspiration come from? Like, and how did that come about for you to like bring it into deathmatch wrestling?
I've always loved the face paint aspect. Jeff Hardy, Sting, even the Usos when they came in, like I've always been a fan of the face paint, but I didn't really ever have something to. Well, for one, I didn't have a character that would fit forever. I was always just the white bread babyface that did crazy shit. So I was like, well, how do I do this without completely ripping off Jeff Hardy? So I just kind of put it on the back burner, and I was like, well, this just might not happen. And then the time came for Canadian Deathmatch's first show in March. And it was like, what can I do different? Because, I had some jeans done up that I had my girlfriend sew some patches on too, because I can't be trusted with a sharp object. I was like, how can I make this different? And I think it was me and my brother, or me and somebody were talking about the movie series where the final one of the Firefly series was the Three from Hell. Okay. And I hadn't seen that yet. I'd seen the House of a Thousand Corpses. I'd seen Devil's Rejects, but I hadn't seen the Three from Hell. So I was like, all right, let's check this out. And I was watching, and it kind of just clicked. I was like, he's a bald guy. Mind you, unfortunately, with Sid Haig's passing, he wasn't in the movie for longer than 15 minutes. Spoiler.
I'm pretty sure people have seen it by now.
Right. But so I end up watching the whole series back that night. I watched the House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and I watched the Three from Hell. I was like, well, he's a bald guy, and he's a sadistic motherfucker. And this whole persona of Captain Spaulding from Rob Zombie's films was such this violent, dirty, comical fucking madman. And I was like, I'm a bald guy. That was my first selling point. I'm like, I'm a bald guy, so I can do that. And I just kind of started watching. I was like, how can I work this into a character? And I was like, well, laugh at pain. Make people uncomfortable. Make people uncomfortable, but make them laugh. But then make them be like, wait, what the fuck just happened? And then when they're leaving at the end of the night, the one guy who kind of stands out, to me at least, is the guy who looked different, but also did the dumbest shit. And by dumbest shit, I don't mean unsafe. I mean the calculated, stupid shit. And it was supposed to be a one-off. It really was. I was supposed to do it for that one show, and I was never going to do it again.
Most of how this goes.
Yep. And after that, I didn't say it was going to be done to anybody. I didn't say whether I was going to, it was a one-off, it's never happening again. I didn't say anything. I just kind of let it go. And within a couple of days, I have people asking me if I'm going to bring it here, if I'm going to bring it there. And, for those who, if there's a promoter seeing this, that character is a deathmatch character. That character is not the Tyler O you see on a professional wrestling show.
He's not PG.
And one of the biggest reasons for that too is because I don't want a chance ruining someone's nice gear with face paint. Yeah, at least in deathmatch, you're going to be covered in blood anyway. You're going to be covered in glass anyway. You're going to be covered in dirt, whatever the fuck is in the fucking venue. But also, that character just I wear the gear, I just don't do the face paint now. But that character can't thrive in a family-friendly audience. It just can't to me.
It'd be tamed down. It would be like a PG version of it, and then it would just be just this evil guy, basically.
Yeah. That's why the PG version of that is he don't wear face paint and he doesn't use the weapons that aren't allowed in a family-friendly show, I still got the jeans, the vest, the shirt, the entrance music changes sometimes. It depends on what I feel like coming out to, But no, it was completely supposed to be a one-off, and then people just started asking for it. Or I just saw the clips blow up, and my DMs were fucking... I got annoyed with my DMs at one point. It was like, I love all of the support, and I love all of it, but it's like my phone is ping, 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 and I'm trying to watch The Righteous Gemstones on HBO. I'm trying to answer every text message, and I'm missing important plot points. Like, can I talk to you tomorrow?
Rewind.
But yeah, I keep being like, what the hell happened there? But yeah, no, it's it's so much fun to do, but it's only fun in the
That
right
makes
setting.
sense.
Like when I'm not restricted in that regard, that character has been my favorite thing in the last 10 years. Like it, and it was a fluke. I didn't plan for this to be a thing. It was supposed to be a one-off, and now it's become one of my favorite things to do. And it's also brought me some opportunities. You know, like even so much as there's a picture floating around from the King of Crazy tournament, and it was all of us with the King of Crazy flag. I stuck out like a sore thumb because everyone, like, not that everybody looked the same. Everyone had their looks, and like everyone looked great. We had Claxton there, we had Eddie there, we had Saint Jacques there. We had so many great people, but then you just see this one guy whose head is painted fluorescent white, dressed in bright red, bright blue, and he's got a sunburn and mosquito bites because he's a ginger with that. You know, that mosquitoes are attracted to. So I just really stuck out, and it was like, okay, I think I'm onto something. I don't want to. I'm like, here's my bed frame. I'll knock on wood, but like, I think I'm onto something here. And if not, fuck it. It's at least fun for the time being. So that's how I look at that. That's how that character came to be and still kind of
Yeah.
exists.
Well, as long as you're having fun with it, fuck it, right? That's all that.
Oh yeah, that's what I say. If you're not, I always say if you're having fun, you're
There you
still
go.
succeeding.
That's all that matters.
That's
Um,
what I say.
so
Yeah.
Airstrike teaming with Mike Forte. You guys have been doing it since 2019. How did that come about?
It's similar, just time and place. Like we were working for at the time Courage Pro Wrestling, that is no longer around, and we were set to face each other. And I think it was in July of 2019. I think again dates. Um,
I don't have precise dates. I just put 2019.
yeah. Okay, so we're on the same page here. And we were supposed to face each other, and they didn't. There was no winner. It was a time limit draw. But
Okay.
they kind of pitched to us, we're thinking of having you guys as a team. So we were in the ring and we got the microphone, and we weren't sure what it was going to be. It was like, he proposed the tag team. I said yes. We hugged it out. And then it was, okay, now what? Is this going to be just for one promotion? And as we kind of looked over the landscape of the tag team division in Ontario, especially, at the time, we could have maybe named 4 or 5 tag teams that were consistent, that weren't just thrown together, or 2 guys that just didn't know how to be a team together. So what started as a one promotion thing, we're like, let's put some content out. Like, let's put out some promos on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and just see what happens. And before you knew it, we were getting booked everywhere as a tag team because we had a look. At the time, we both had long hair, so that's kind of the big change now. But we
Always
had,
works still.
yeah, we had a look. We had some good. I like to think we had some good moves between the two of us, and then we started coming up with some tag moves and pulling influence from. We pulled some influence from the Hardys, from the Bucks, and just tried to make something out of just make one big concoction out of 100 different things that we liked. And fortunately, it had worked. By this point, I think we've held collectively like 13 or 12 belts together now. Like,
I don't have that number down here, but yes, multiple time champions across like
yeah,
many different promotions
yeah.
in Ontario.
Like, I'm
And
sure there's a record somewhere. I don't look at Cage Match because Cage Match is so outdated. Like,
oh my
Cage,
god,
Cage
it's
Match thinks I've
crazy.
had like 50 matches, and I'm like, I had like 50 matches like this year so far. Like, so 50 all together, it's just like, page. I don't need it. Like, but and to this point, like now we're kind of but we're kind of also going our separate paths in the sense of like he's been on the road. He was doing the stuff with Mega Pro Wrestling, I believe, in Sandusky. He got his Alpha One run, which is going great by the looks of it. I got the Deathmatch stuff, which is I couldn't be happier in that regard. Even our 3-way team with PD. PD's got his
I
stuff.
was
He's going
just about
to.
to ask about Airstrike XL. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
how that
Like,
came about too, and just was that just like a matter of circumstance again like that?
honestly, with that, I can't fully remember how that worked. Like, because we had unfortunately been in a series of storylines that didn't work, and then there was I had to go away for a couple of months, so it came down to how the hell are we going to recover this? Like, how to bring me back after I just left after 2 months, and I didn't have a time frame on how long I was planning on being gone, if I was how that was going to work, and it ended up being like, well, you guys, because me and PD became friends from our no ring stuff back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mike have been friends for, we've been a team alone for like 7-8 years now. So we're like, maybe this could work, because PD, he was. I'm not going to say he's like just a deathmatch guy, because he's not. But it was like the high flying style of me and Mike at the time, especially. Now we're going to incorporate PD, who's like this down and dirty, tough as fuck, half deathmatch, half wrestler. Like what? Like we didn't know how we were going to make this work. And PD was actually the one who designed the boy band shit shirt, because he made a joke about that once, because me and Mike come out to a heavy metal Backstreet Boys song.
So awesome. So
So
awesome.
yeah, so we just stuck with that, and before we knew it, we were rolling. We were having banger matches. Then we held the trios titles at PWO, and it just got to a point where it's like, well, what's next for us? We've been such a focal point, if not the main focal point, of PWO's trios division for so long. That's like, well, what's next? We've done everything we can do, and not many promotions have a trios belt. So it's like, if we go to another promotion with this, there's nothing really to work towards. So we just kind of currently, like, we had our last match with Dynasty back. I can't remember what the date was, but I believe it was either the end of last year or early this year. I can't remember. But we had our last match with Dynasty, who 3 guys, great to work with, but that was kind of our send off. And it was time to start doing individual things similar to me and Mike with just Airstrike. It was time for Airstrike XL to go their separate ways. And, PD had the Southern Ontario belt at PWO. Mike has the internet. I've yet to get something yet. I'm working on it. But like, we're all going on our individual paths in that company and everywhere else. And it's been a fucking blast to this point, because like, there's nothing better than working with your friends when you're on the same page,
Yeah.
Me and Mike will bump heads sometimes, but it's always about stupid shit, and we don't even argue about it. It's just like it's like, maybe you should throw a big boot. No, I throw a super kick. Well, I'm throwing a fucking big boot, whatever the hell it is. Like, something stupid like that. Like, at most, we're having discrepancies over what restaurant we're going to, because we both want to go somewhere different. He wants steak, I want sushi, whatever the hell. But no, it's been a blast with those 2. I was about to say those 3. I'm like, I'm included. But no, it's been a blast with those guys. Like, and if we get to do it again down the road, fucking hey, I'll be all for it.
I'd
But
love
for
to
now,
see it
it's just,
too.
we'll see. Yeah, for now, we'll just see where we land. That's really what we're doing right now, and we're all seeming to land somewhere. So which works greatly.
That's all that matters, right? As long as everyone's doing their own thing and everyone's like happy doing their own thing.
That's it. Homies supporting homies. I am a big advocate
Yep.
for that.
Yep. Always got to support the homies. So
Absolutely.
the hardcore deathmatch proclivity, is it something that you enjoy, or is it something you feel now that you've been thrust into because you've been doing it for, well, as long as I've known you? So that's about like 5, 6 years.
Well, I consider, obviously not in a comparison level, I consider this my Terry Funk era.
Okay.
I spent, I didn't even get into deathmatch wrestling until like, fuck. Well, when was the first time you saw me? That would have been my first year. 21. I started wrestling in 2016. So from 2016 to 2021, it was just straight wrestling, which I love it. I love wrestling. I love every aspect of wrestling, all types, shapes, and sizes, whatever you want to call it. But it was like, I want to try something different. It's like I've done so much of this over the last, at the time, 6, 7 years. I'm like, let's try something different. I want to see. And funny enough, it didn't come until a battle royal, a fucking battle royal, and it came down to, funny enough, me and Tyler Hill, and they wanted him to beat me down after eliminating him in the final two. And we were just kind of talking. He was sitting with Shawnee Mo at the time, and he was like, "You cool with taking the crutch?" And I'm like, "Well, I've never taken it, but go for it, sure." And he kind of looked at me wide eyed, and even Sean kind of looked at me wide eyed, and he's like, "I can already tell I like you." I hadn't met him at the time. I hadn't met him, and I'm like, "I'm sorry," and he's like, "Most guys aren't willing to take that shit. Not on their first try, at least. They want to do like a steel chair or something." He's like, "You're just going for it," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I want a good product, and I'm cool with this shit. I'm a fan of this kind of stuff." And we went out and did it, and we got in trouble for it because we did not hear that we weren't allowed to have sharp objects on the canvas. So props to Hill for taking the heat for that one. I didn't even know he took the heat for that until years later. But it was really just something to try. Didn't know if I was going to stick with it or not. Had no clue. But now it's at a stage where I fucking love it. I have a blast doing it. Like, sure, a lot of things hurt, but a lot of things, I'm trying to find the words to put it, to make it make sense and not make it sound like I'm a total fucking lunatic.
It's almost coming back to like what you were saying with the high risk, like high flying style. You know it's gonna hurt, but there's other things like little things that could hurt and fuck you up just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah, that's really like what it is to me is different to some people. Like that's really what it comes down to. Like even just people in my personal life will see like, the curb stomp into the thumbtacks with them in my mouth and shit.
God. Oh.
That's the reaction. But for me, it was just like, cool. All right. Whack. All right. What's next? Like, it was like, worry about that later. That's my, I'm like, if anything's wrong, worry about it later. And I can't say I love pain necessarily. That's a little fucked up to say if I did. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
If that makes
sense. It does.
I don't love it, but I'm not too fazed by it either. And that's where a lot of people mistake like there's so many people that think I got a death wish. And it's like, no. It's like if I had a death wish, I'd be doing something else. The objective to do this is to do it successfully, So
and not get killed doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So for me it's really just become like another tool in the utility belt.
Okay.
I've done singles wrestling, I've done tag team wrestling, I've done multi-man, I've done trios wrestling, I've done hardcore wrestling, I've done deathmatch wrestling, because I believe there is a difference between the two, personally.
There's going to be a video on this channel about that one day.
Yeah. And for everything I've done, it's like, to me, it just makes me more versatile. To me, I believe, and this is not an ego thing, I believe it makes me more of an asset to a show than I would have been, say, 5 years ago. Because if you need me to do a tag match, I'll do a tag match. You need me to do a trios match, I'll do a trios. You need me a 6-man, I'll do a 6-man. You need me in a hardcore death match, I'll do that. I can do whatever I'm asked of. And really, it just happened to be that I'm pretty fucking good at it,
Just so happens.
Just so happens. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough, right? That's the Roger Allen Wade song.
Banger, absolute banger.
Absolutely.
We're talking about the crutch. You've got the cheese grater crutch. That thing is one of the nastiest things I've seen. Like, just the match you guys had. Oh fuck, this was like 2022. You and Hill had No Ring North, and you guys just did the fucking like shot for shot with that. That was absolutely fucking brutal. Like, I was just, I have a video of it still, and I'm just like, I'm amazed I was just not wincing through the video. Let's just put it that way. It was fucked up.
Oh yeah, whenever I bring it to a show, people are very unsettled by it until one of us gets hit with it. Weirdly enough.
Interesting.
It's kind of like one of those things where like you're always looking at it and you're like, fuck, do I want to take that? that's gonna fucking suck. And it's like, well, if you use the wrong side, yes, but but like it's one of those things. Like I've explained to people, like once you take it, like you're gonna realize like it's weirdly enough minimal damage, maximum results, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense.
I've I've been hit with it, and my entire back looks like I just went through a cheese grater.
Jesus. Well,
But then I get home that night.
sorry to cut you off there, but that match you guys had at King of Crazies, you hit that guy like twice maybe with the thing, and his back looked like he was like shredded from it. I'm like, God damn.
Oh yeah, but the beauty of that is he had 3 matches that night because he went on to win the
Oh
finals.
fuck.
And but within 10 minutes of being finished that match, his back was dry.
Yeah.
It wasn't bleeding anymore.
It's crazy how
Like,
fast it stops bleeding.
don't get me wrong, it stings, but like it's you don't need stitches for it or nothing, and that's kind of the beauty of it. It's like doing stunt work. You want to make it look gnarly, but you want to walk away from it. You know,
Yes,
like
that's just it.
it's where like my second career path would have been being a stuntman or something because just it's in me.
Well, like you said, you have the proclivity to it, so why the hell not at this point?
Absolutely, professional wrestlers are just stuntmen without wires. You know, that's what I say, and that's not a jab at stuntmen. That's not. We're just like live action theater. You know,
That is
like
literally how I've described professional wrestling to people. It's like live action combat theater. Like, and
100%,
the
100%.
actors are taking the actual bumps. They're not having somebody stuntman, stunt double come in to take
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? So like,
absolutely. Like not everybody's Jackie Chan. You know,
no,
one of the best to do it. One of the best to do it.
literally. Uh,
He's like a subtle influence that I really don't even have much to say on. It's just Jackie fucking Chan is an
I
inspiration. You
I
know.
understand. I grew up watching, well, clearly Frank Duke's movie or Frank Duke's
Yeah,
Bloodsport, and I grew up watching all those movies, so I understand
absolutely,
completely. Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee.
100%,
Um,
absolutely.
the rivalry you've had with Tyler Hill, that has been those matches. I've seen some of those matches live and in person. Those have been some of the most violent and like brutal ones you guys have had. Like, period. Is it just because you guys are so like trusting with each other and all that? It's just like fuck it, let's just go as far as we can.
I think it's like the stupid minds think alike. You know, like we we were never really like we never really shared many dressing rooms before we wrestled each other in those no ring matches or anything like that. We hadn't been on many shows together, and the time came, and it was just by that first one, there was a chemistry there that I can't say I've had with a lot of people. And that's not a bad thing towards anybody else. It was just something clicked with us, and having the pain tolerance that we both have, and we have similar visions for the things that we want to do when it comes to these kind of matches, and it was a snowball effect where it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're like, what can we do next? And eventually we almost hit that ceiling where it was like, well, fuck, there is no next. And that's where Canadian Deathmatch has given us this platform. And even the last time, because him and I hadn't been in a ring together, especially a deathmatch, since that one that you were talking about where we did the standoff with the crutches. So that would have been what, 21 or something, or 22, whatever whenever it was.
2022. My
22.
seizures and a concussion. My memory's the shits. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but so either way, it was anywhere between 2 and 4 years ago,
Literally.
and we came back and we did that first one at the Crazy Eight, and even he realized he was dealing with a different animal. It's like it's no longer the guy trying to figure out what he's doing; it's the guy now who knows what he's doing, but we still ran with it. And it was a thumbtack match, but we had a hell of a lot more than thumbtacks. That's, kid in a candy store. But like even then, like people will tell me, like, because I people watching the streams or bought the DVDs, they end up tagging me in a story or something on Instagram and be like, how did I not fucking see this and all that shit. And it becomes some of their, like, I've introduced people to deathmatch wrestling who hated hardcore wrestling, deathmatch wrestling, hated all of it. They saw that match and they became a fan. I was like, then we did what we set out to do, because at the end of the day, we're not just promoting the violence, we're promoting that we're wrestlers who know how to be violent. That's the difference. Like, we didn't just jump into this stuff with no prior training. It's like we were all wrestlers that then went into this pool. And that's where I think a lot of people fail to realize it, because unfortunately there are a lot of people who take that route where it's they didn't bother wrestling, or if they did go to wrestling school, they went to wrestling school for 3 weeks and then got into that. And, if that's how people do it, that's how some people do it. But we end up getting a bad reputation for stuff like that, because people don't forget that I've been a wrestler for the last 10 years, that this has just been the last 3 to 5 years. Like, a lot of people don't forget about that. To the point where when even in that first match with me and Tyler Hill, we opened with wrestling. And I think I closed it with some type of lucha libre arm drag. And we got a "this is awesome" before we'd even touched each other with a weapon. And it's like, well, if you think this shit's awesome, wait till you see what we got down here. And it worked. By the end of it, like, I'm not going to say we were a match of the night, because there were so many matches that night that were contenders. Like, any match that night to me could have been match of the night. But I think we showed it. Yeah, I think we showed just some versatility in a world that people think there isn't versatility. Like, that was my thing. It's like, let's show these motherfuckers we can wrestle, but then let's bleed on them. Like, that was the mentality on that, and it worked. And we still got this feud going on. It's gonna go into August, and who knows what goes from there. I don't know. But this one, I'm sure, without giving away any of my plans, this one is definitely going to be more violent. 100%. It is. And, like, if not, if this is the end, it'll be the most violent. If it's not the end, I'm going to have to find a way to make the next one more violent. So it's just a fucking game of, who's dumber, or Dumb and Dumber. There we go. It's about picking who's dumb and who's dumber. That's the fucking goal there. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that.
So, no ring wrestling, we brought it up a few times now. It's that's how I saw you the first time, was in no ring environment. Is there some like preparation you have for doing that? Because, like, obviously there's some certain limitations to it, and obviously there's some serious repercussions, considering it's the fucking ground and not like a bit of support. But is there any way, like, you prepare for that, or is there any way to prepare for that?
See, for me, it's just accepting the unaccepting, because I'm about to put a damper on a lot of people's thoughts. I do not like no ring wrestling.
Fair enough.
I don't. The only thing I like about it is it forces me to get creative. Like, I don't have all this shit lined up and set up so I can just go for it. I have to think and brainstorm and visualize. And I don't know what some of these places are going to look like until I'm there. Like the place we're going to be in August. I'm from Hamilton, and I've never been to the fucking venue, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know if there's going to be a stage there like there was in St. Catharines. I don't know if it's going to be a big room, if it's going to be a small room, if there's going to be two levels. I have no idea. But my idea going into it, being someone who doesn't love it to begin with, I will 100% do it because I am a professional. But and it's kind of funny to say out loud, but when it comes to the no ring stuff, it's just like, the shit's gonna hurt. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna not even difficult. It's just gonna be a challenge. And how do we make this great? And fortunately, being a perfectionist, I'm too fucking picky about everything. To me, I don't think I've had a no ring match that I've hated.
Fair enough.
Which amazes me, considering I love no ring wrestling. I don't love doing it. Let me put that out there, because I love watching this shit, but I don't love doing it. So it's not that I have a problem with it or people who do it. It's just I prefer a ring. But goddamn, some of this shit's cool to watch. You
I
know?
agree.
So so it's not me by any means shitting on the product itself. It's me having a preference. That's all that is. But yeah, it's not. It's hard to prepare for that kind of stuff because it really, when you go from even just say in the same month, you have 5 shows in a ring, and then it's like, well, this one's not in a ring, and you're like, oh fuck, wait, you're like, I just did 5 matches in a ring, and now I have to do this. Okay, and you just have to reevaluate everything. Like, okay, you don't got ropes, so maybe you can use the bar counter, maybe you can use a table, maybe you can use the stage, and it's like every bump's gonna be a little stiff. That's just how that's gonna be. Um, but yeah, there's to me the only real way to prepare for it is just go in with the understanding that most things are gonna hurt in some capacity. Like, there's no nice way to put it. Like, I mean, you could put a table there to kind of cushion your fall, but then you're still going through a fucking table, So
You're gonna lose either way.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Something's gonna hurt no matter what. So just enjoy it. Enjoy it the most you can in the process of getting hurt.
Fair enough.
Getting hurt, not injured. There's a difference.
Big difference. Big difference there.
Big difference. Yeah, man.
So this next question is a bit of a personal question, and feel free, you don't have to answer if you don't want. How bad did the nipple tattoo hurt?
Oh shit. How old was I? I was 17, I think, when I got that.
Damn.
I was 17. I had one of my forearm ones done. I had the skulls up here done, and I was like, those two didn't hurt at all. And everyone says tattoos hurt, so I was like, all right, fuck it. I saw Villavallo from the band
Yep.
Him. He has it around his nipple, and I think Bam does too. And I was a big Bam Margera fan. So big Villavallo fan, big Him fan, big Bam Margera fan. Fuck it, I'm getting a nipple tattoo. And I went, and dude, yeah. Aside from like the inside and outside of my elbows, nipple's been the worst.
Oh god.
Like, and it's not even that it was like necessarily the pain itself of like the tattoo. It was the nerve aspect. So like there would be a couple of times where he'd hit a certain spot, but it would feel like he was going over my nipple, and I was like, hold up. I was like, dude, are you going where you shouldn't be? You're going to uncharted territory. And he would just, I was friends with him, he would just start laughing. So I didn't know at the time if he was going over my nipple or not until I was done, because we're friends. He was ribbing me. I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, that by far has been one of my worst tattoos. And I've gotten the elbows done. I've gotten the bony areas, the wrists, the ankles. I've got a bunch of shit done. But nipple is by far. I might have to do it again at some point just to see if it's as bad as I remember it being, because I was 17 at the time.
Get a touch up.
Yeah, get a touch up or add to it, maybe. Like, I don't know, but by my memory, it sucked. But maybe my pain tolerance has changed, so maybe I'll have to do the other nipple. And then I'll complete the circle with the belly button or something.
Hey man, it's your body.
Or the triangle.
It's your body, your choice, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's a connect the dots masterpiece. Maybe I should get the Bam Bam Bigelow on that.
The flames on the head.
No, I can't hide that because I can't grow some of this back anymore, and I can't afford hair transplants. What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck. Apparently, there's some remedies for it out there now too. So who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Just staple some grass, make it a chia pet. That's it. Yeah, I've done the staple gun before. It's fine. We're good.
You're all set.
We're good. That's it.
So, what is the biggest challenge slash hurdle with pro wrestling? Is it the injuries? Is it being away from home for a period of time? Or something else?
Shit, that's good. Currently, it's losing my belly fat. But overall, hey man, I like my sweets and my baked goods.
I hear ya.
Yeah, I'm bad for 3 a.m. Let's get up and have a croissant or something.
Oh dear.
No, it's just I I find it's just a lot of the time. You know, like I've missed so much, and I'm not even on the road 300 plus days a year. You know, I don't have that WWE or the old WWE schedule. I don't know what they're like now. I've heard it's a lot easier.
Still,
But
it's craziness.
well, that's it. Like, and especially just being city to city, like some nights you're driving 8 hours and then you're getting a hotel or Airbnb, then you're wrestling, then you're going back to the hotel because you have to make a town the next day. But the town the next day is closer to the town you were just in than it is to your home. So you're wasting time by going 8 hours home to drive 6 hours back. Like I've fucking missed a good chunk of my niece and nephew being born and growing up. Like I missed a lot of birthdays. I missed a lot of anniversaries. I missed some funerals. Like, and it took a long time to get to a point where it's like, I can make the time for the things I've missed. But when you're so tunnel visioned on the goal, and there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, it was being so tunnel visioned on the goal that I wasn't making time for anything. Yeah, I went through so many fucking girlfriends over the last 10 years because, unfortunately, with my mindset, wrestling was number one. It was. So I either got cheated on, I got left, I got pushed away. Sometimes I left. It was just because things didn't work because this is what I wanted and I didn't have time for anything else. So that was my biggest struggle personally in the last, I'd probably say the last 4 years at least. That's been what I've been working on. Like my current girlfriend, she helps me out with a lot of shit, but she's also seen the ugly shit that comes with some of this, and not in like a bad way, but she's seen the days where you don't want to get up some mornings. She's seen she's seen me on a night where I didn't get to sleep because I've been driving all night. Like she's seen the toll that I could take at times, and then even just like the injuries. But like, we make the time now because she comes along with me for a lot of this shit. Like she'll be at shows with me, whether she wants to run the merch or if she wants to just sit there and be a fan, whatever she wants to do. But she understands it, but she knows that what my understanding used to be or how I used to be in that sense. And I wasn't a dick. I wasn't an asshole. It's just my priorities were all over the place. And wrestling was top priority. In a lot of cases, it still is. Like, I don't cancel bookings often, if ever. But I also realize, like, we have our anniversary coming up in August. I'm busy, and so is she. She's got a life too. She's got her schedule. So we took it as I'm doing I can't say it yet because it's not announced, but I'm doing something next month. And it's not WWE, NXT, GCW. It's nothing like that. But I'm doing a weekend gig next month that isn't announced yet. Ooh. And we're going to use that as our anniversary weekend getaway.
Ooh.
So, like, we managed to make time in there and still fulfill this I don't even want to call it obligation because I want to do it. So, like, my biggest struggle was definitely, I'm not going to say wrong priorities. There was no wrong priority. It was just which priority needs to be first on this week or this day or this weekend or
balancing.
This month, whatever. Yeah, that's it. I can't put words together.
Okay.
But that's what it's really been. Like you said, yeah, balancing out the needs and the wants more than anything. And I think I've been doing a good job of it. I keep the girlfriend happy.
Well, clearly, with this planned vacation, I'm very interested in that. You've piqued my interest.
I'll tell you off air 100%.
Okay. Off camera.
Yeah.
Who's been your favorite opponent to wrestle so far?
Damn.
Or multiple opponents.
I was gonna say I'll narrow it down to 3 because there's like 300. I'll narrow it down to 3. Bruiser Battersby is one of them. I had almost like a 2-year rivalry with him, and it never felt stale. And the dude, in my opinion, he gets a lot of opportunities, but he doesn't get the credit he deserves. To me, he's by far one of the best that's come out of our area. He's from St. Catharines area. I'm not, but our area, he's one of the best to come out of, in my opinion. And great guy too, and doesn't put up with shit either. I love that. Another one would be Evan Greenaway. I don't know what it was. Him and I clicked off the hop. We have wrestled each other hundreds of times we wrestled in front of 4 people. We've wrestled in front of like a few hundred people. We've wrestled in front of gymnasiums, fundraisers, wrestling crowds. We've literally wrestled in every capacity. But I've only had one bad match with him, and truthfully, it was my fault. And I didn't realize until like a couple days later that it was my fault. I thought it was just my cardio being shit. But I remember we were doing this match and I was so blown up, and we were like 12 minutes in and we had 20. And I was so blown up that eventually by the 15 minutes, he's like, we're going home. And he low blows me and gets disqualified. And I got so mad because to me, it's like, no, I've never not finished a match. Even with injury. I wrestled a match with a broken nose, like I've done it. So, but I found out I took a test 2 days later, and it turned out I had COVID at the time.
Oh, shit.
I had no idea because I didn't have all the symptoms. It was just, why is my cardio shit?
I can't breathe. Yeah.
Yeah, like my nose wasn't stuffed, my throat wasn't closing up, I didn't have the migraines, the headaches, I wasn't throwing up, I didn't have the fever, nothing. I took a test 2 days later, and I tested positive, and I was like, that explains so fucking much.
Man.
But he's been one of the best to work with, and honestly, I don't see him have many bad matches with anybody. The guy could work a fucking broomstick, and it would be a 5-star to Meltzer, and we also have like a bit of a personal connection. Him and I, like, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't always know about. But fuck, like my last match with him, not even my last match with him. We had our last feud. It was like a unintentional series of 7 or something. Like, I don't even know if there was a record by it. I think I lost most of them until I beat him for a title. But no, like those were some matches that if people ask me like summarize, a body of work, at least in the wrestling sense, I'd send them a match of me and Evan. Like, he's just one of those guys, 100%. Like, another guy does not, to me, get the credit he deserves. Not even deserves, the credit he's fucking earned. Like, that's how I look at that. Like, and I'll give one more because I've listed 2 that I've had in wrestling matches. I need a deathmatch favorite. Oh, shit. I've kind of backed myself into a corner here.
We can put 2. Fuck it.
Okay. It's as much PD skills, 100%. I haven't even had him in a proper deathmatch yet. But we had a last man standing match at New Frontier, and we had a hardcore match at Extreme Warfare. But we haven't fucking went all out before. So I'm waiting for that. But he's so fun to work with and easy to work with. And there's no fucking pressure. There's no stress. It's just easy and fun. You're going to get swung at when he's got the chair and stuff. That's what we want. If the harder you hit each other, what is it? Jerry Funk said it about him and Cactus Jack. The better friends you are, the harder you hit each other. The harder you hit each other, the more money you make. It was something along those lines.
You would know. Jesus Christ.
Right? That's it. And I'd have to go 4th one, piece of shit, Tyler Hill, just for the chemistry, man. Like, and at the end of the day, I don't fucking partially in character, don't want to give that fuckface the credit, but there wouldn't be a deathmatch Tyler Aero if he wasn't there. 100%. Like, he was my introduction, basically. So without Tyler Hill, Tyler Aero doesn't exist in that capacity, in that spotlight. And fuck, when the time's done and our times are over, I owe him a basket of flowers and a bag of candy or something, whatever, whatever tickles his fancy.
A nice retirement gift.
That's it. Whenever that time comes, yeah.
That's, I don't know. You got 4, including skills, great wrestlers there. That's perfect. Like, honestly, man.
Yeah.
What's been one of the matches like that has been your favorite, or one that you've been the most proud of?
Being the critic on myself that I am.
I know it's going to be a tough one, but still.
I am going to go with like a wrestling match for this one.
Okay.
And it's going to rail back to, I'm gonna pick one. That doesn't mean that there aren't others. I'm gonna pick one though. Me and Bruiser Battersby had a cage match in Hamilton, and there was so much riding on that. It was like the climax of a 2-year fucking story that ended up being so hard to tell and so hard to keep relevant because fans get bored. They really do sometimes, you know. And it came down to this cage match that we weren't even sure if we were gonna be able to do, like, because it was my pitch and no one said yes, no one said no. We got the okay during a segment at the end of a show once, so I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this shit. But I don't remember how long we went. We might have went like 18, 20 minutes. But like there were so many first time things in that, like, or not even so many, but there was a couple. Like he always used to do this moonsault and he never hit it. He would always eat shit, fucking chest to mat, fucking knock the wind out of himself, whatever. So the time came, it was like, fuck it, hit it. I was like, I'll lay there, hit it. And it was the first, and it fucking blew up in that regard because everyone's like, you finally fucking hit it and all this other shit. But it was just like the intensity of the match and the passion in the match and like how hard we were fucking hitting each other. Like this match meant something to both of us. Like we, when we were done, the match was over and everything else. And we kind of have that standoff before he gets out of the cage and leaves. And he's just thanking me. And like, I'm thanking him and we're fucking, it's like, we just pulled this shit off because like, we all know that crowds can get tired at the end of a show. And sometimes the main event doesn't get the attention it deserves. Mm-hmm. That night, it got the attention it deserved. And I don't know if it's because people wanted to see a cage match, if it's because they wanted to see us in the match. I have no fucking clue, but they were there. They were in it. And I think they were into it even more than we were into it, which as we were going, I think there was a period of time we were in a pin or something. And I just rolled to him and I'm like, we fucking got this, bro. like we have them. So like, let's not stop now. And you know, then everything got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was just one of those matches where even if anything went wrong, I don't care that it went wrong. Like, because the story was there, the crowd was there, and we felt everything. We weren't just doing the moves, we felt everything. And we were telling that fucking story that we needed to tell, and it worked out better than either of us thought it was going to. And that's, to this day, why he's still one of my favorite opponents.
Fuck yeah.
So.
Is that available anywhere to see, or is that just like a...
I know there's a highlight video on my YouTube somewhere, okay. But full match-wise, I'm not sure, but I'm sure I can send it to you.
Is there anything else you wanted to bring up or touch on? Like, fuck, I've just been asking questions nonstop here.
No, like I said, this is my first time doing this in a while, so like this is just kind of like a fresh air bit. I normally don't even know how long we've been going, but I don't know. Last time I had to talk this long with somebody on these kind of topics, which is kind of cool. And I normally don't have the time to do them. So like having a weekend off for once, it was kind of cool to do.
I'm envious.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, this will be my first one and my last one for probably quite some time.
There we go. All right. So the last real thing I got to ask you here, what are your short-term and long-term goals for pro wrestling?
Good question. That's a tough one. Like, you ask anybody, their goal is typically to go to WWE, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know anybody who would turn down that opportunity. But for me right now, I try to not set long-term goals because then I focus too much on them that I forget about what I'm doing presently and what I'm working towards presently.
That makes more sense.
Like the two current goals that I think I have set out, aside from the fact that I'd love to do more work with ISW in Quebec, because it was just a great atmosphere there, and I loved how things were run. Yeah.
How was wrestling in Quebec for your first time? Shit.
Well, here, I'll get on to that after I.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
This is quicker than that story. For me, like the two short-term goals I would have, I'd love to get a shot in GCW, be it if it's in wrestling or if it's in Deathmatch, because I just was the shit I love to watch. I love those hybrid shows. And the other goal would be a chance at TNA because I was always a fucking TNA guy growing up. I
Fuck yeah.
loved the Ultimate X,
The
you
X
know,
Division. Oh,
yeah, the X Division
enough said.
itself. That's it. Like I loved that shit, and just to even get an opportunity would fucking blow my goddamn mind. And but I'm also a realist that it doesn't always happen. So it's like that's what I'm working towards. But I'm not gonna hold myself to it in that sense. I'll do everything I can to get there, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's just again, that's life. Sometimes that's just how things go. But those would be my two main goals. Um, but wrestling in Quebec, little segue here. That was a breath of fresh air for me, man. I wasn't stressed in the slightest. I had my nerves, but I wasn't stressed. I wasn't. I wasn't intimidated. It was just like, let's fucking make this the best we can. Like these people don't know who I am, but they know enough to bring me here. So let's show them who the fuck I am. And the match went off great, and I find like we were in the opening match of the tournament, and we did our 10, 12 minutes, however long we had, and I think we made the best of them. And it was funny though because I took the mandatory amount of French in school.
I know
And
exactly where this is going.
so I don't understand the language.
Not one bit.
I can maybe tell you I got to go to the bathroom. I can say please and thank you and stuff like that. But like
I can
I
speak
can't
more
do.
Spanish than I can French.
Okay.
So there you go.
There, yeah. So like for me, it was we were at the merch table, and we're just selling some stuff and whatever. But people kept talking to me in French, and I was like, "Oh, perfect." I'm like, "Sexy Eddie's beside me." I'm like, "Brother, I need some help."
Perfect.
I'm like, "Brother, I need some help," and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't speak French," and he's like, "I got you," and they just went off. I still don't know what he said, but the person that was talking to me at the time ended up buying some merch. So I'm like, keep doing it, brother. Keep doing it.
That's fucking amazing. Sexy Eddie,
Oh,
what a
no.
legend.
Oh, he's a fucking stud of a guy. I'm like already like, when the fuck can I see him next? He is so good. Talking to him was literally like picking up with a friend that we'd never met before, but like talking to him that day, it felt like talking to someone that I just haven't talked to in 10 years and we never fell off. Like it kind of felt like that. And I was like, I love this guy.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Legend.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute legend, too. All
Oh,
right.
100%.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all I got at this. We burned through my list there. I'm surprised it only took this amount of time, frankly. Um, but
No
yeah,
shit.
but yeah, Tyler Aero, everyone.